The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name. For the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing? The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding? Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, this is going to be Zechariah. Anyway, because I am the editor here, I'm going to change his name to Zach. Okay, Zeke. Zach. Maybe I need a K in there. Anyways, that's his new name. And what I'm going to do here is just start breaking it down. Now, right off the bat, who is Darius? Darius. So let's go to the concordance. And where is it here? Now, when it says he's a king, okay, several Persian kings. So what I need to do here then in the text is introduce you to king, I guess. King Daenerys. And I'll do that. But how year of? We don't need the word of. Okay, now this seems to be a 3-verse format. Okay. So what I'm going to do is when I'm starting to break down the sentences, I'm just going to go through here and see what happens. The word of Wivey came to Zeke. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change the name to Z. Okay, I'll be done with that right now. Z came to Z, a prophet the words from Wivey. It's not the prophet, it's his prophet, our created prophet. And I'm adding, so that's what I'm removing is the blue highlighted. You know, when you see this red like that and italic, that is words I'm adding. And what I'm also going to do is tell you that I've replaced all the 4-letter words, the two titles, Lord and God, that are all capital letters with his name YV. And you've seen in the intro why I do that. And so the word the doesn't mean here. Now, this son, and then I have this word. So I can tell you right now that these are going to be added words. And I got to come up here like this and put them back in because the words say words from Wivey. And they're not the words, not the word, not the word of Wivey, but the words from Wivey. And these are came to Z, his prophet, saying. Now, the thing here about saying is, if this turns into prophecy, I have to change that. So, now how can words from our Creator came to Z and his prophet saying, Wivey was angry with your forefathers? Therefore say to them, thus says Wivey of hosts. Okay. What does it mean by it says Wivey of hosts? Because when you put his name in here, this makes no sense. Okay. Now that's probably because they needed to add these words here for their meanings. So the thing here is look at this, how they're doing this. And again, here, what does host mean? So let's take a look here. Host. Okay. Now over here, it's talking about, this is what the word come from. This is the word we're looking at here. But the word here says army, war, welfare. Okay, so this is what they're going to substitute these words with. And this concordance tells us how many times they used the word to the right or to the left this many times for this word. Armies, army. Although right in here it says that there's already a word for army, but they're going to do it again. So, but battle, combat, conflict, hardship, and then look at all these for host. You would think that they would try to explain what the word host is, but what does the word host mean? Well, I don't know. I guess, well, I could give you the explanation of, okay, I'll give you the explanation why. You've seen in the beginning where I told you some of the things that you can't trust those that put the text into English. Well, when they put it into English, they put in their sun god Ra. Okay, and that's why there's an Egyptian obelisk in the middle of the Vatican courtyard. They don't think we have a creator. But the text back in 1611, they were still believing that the sun was actually a god. Okay, and the stars are actually them becoming gods under their meditation practice. Okay, I guess I better explain a little bit here because this is the first one, and I'm in Malachi 2:11. It says, Judah the kingdom has married the daughter of a foreign god. The foreign god is Ra. The daughter is the moon god. Okay, moon goddess, excuse me. To marry her means they're meditating to have a sex with this so-called female goddess, a sex-like experience, okay? Everything but the loss of seed. Now, this is why they went into captivity, because how bad it got. Israel did it first, and now Judah is going out, or gone out way. They went to Babylon. This is Jeremiah, and talks about her as the Queen of Heaven, and where their forefathers, kings, and this word is priests, all did all these things, corruption, didn't believe our Creator anymore. Now, some ancient symbols of Ra, the sun god, with the moon, with his daughter, the moon goddess. Okay, here's Athena's temple, I think, her image and her goddess image. But that's the practice that they have, and they thought under this practice they become gods, and they ascended into heaven as a star. Now, just think about this, that all the planets out there are still named after gods, okay? So you shouldn't be surprised that that's what they were thinking, that they can become a god. So that was their understanding back then. But the only thing is put into the text. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to show you how I can get rid of all of them. No format. And, whoops, I got the wrong name up here. Thought I was going to put it in there. Okay, with one space. And I'm going to replace it 47 times they had that in this text, in just this one book. Okay. So, just like that, I'm going to get rid of it. Whoops. How come it's still here? It's out of here. Okay. But those are all gone now, and I'm not going to even talk about them anymore because the 47 times is too many times. But as long as you got that and understand what's going on, remember that when at the beginning, when I showed you some text that was written by them, I'm going to show it to you again. Here is them worshiping the sun god or showing respect to the sun god here. And they wanted, and the Roman emperor corrected the calendar and ordered the year according to the course of the sun. You wouldn't put a capital letter on it, but they did. Also notice here, the great clerk, Gregory the Divine. Now, I'm sure you Christians out there think Jesus is divine, but I'm telling you, they made him like he's divine, and he's not. So the thing here is your editors or your translators knows Gregory is the divine. So don't get mad at me. The corruption is that people do not obey our Creator. The more they would be obeying our Creator as much as possible, these things would have never happened, okay? Or I don't think they would ever happen. I think there would have been more arguments going on about what is right or wrong in the text. But just remember, all those planets out there in the sky are still named after pagan gods. Your days of the week are, the months are after pagan gods, and yet the Roman Church was in charge of all science, all knowledge for 1,600 years, and they did nothing about it. Okay, I'm here. I'm getting rid of it. And I'm at least being fair about you and telling you what's going on here. Okay, now, let me see here. I'm going to go through here and keep cutting up to try to find out what the story is about here. Therefore say to them, thus says Wyvie, return to me declares Wyvie that this should be a capital I may return to you. Now, how does our Creator even say those words? I may return to you? Do you think our Creator has a doubt in his mind that he can actually do whatever he wants with you? But here, so this word is just non-existent, but it's a clue that you're going to see a lot of text being removed. Because here it says, say, return to me. Now declare. What's the difference between saying and declaring? Okay. Especially when you got up here that it's telling us again, saying, he said some of these things. So that I may return to you, that you return to me is what it should be. It says Wyvie again. Okay. So that's very confusing to start off. And why am I starting with this book? Okay, I guess that's a lot of questions people ask. I'm going to go through all the prophets. And by doing the last books first and working my way to Isaiah or Jeremiah is to understand the events that are happening after they went to Babylon, okay? Because some of these books, they're not in Babylon. But so this Denarius, King Denarius, is already a king. I think this is the third king in David, the image that Nebuchadnezzar got of this statue, and there's supposed to be 5 kingdoms. Denarius is the third, I believe. So the thing here is you have to understand where this text is coming from, or pretty much saying that's where it's from. because we know Rome come in and we have no text for Rome, okay, except for Jesus's text, the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So he says, he declares and says, it's saying, okay, do not be like your. Now this means that it was a long time ago, so this has to be forefathers, okay? And why is it forefathers? Well, that's because a male seed is visible and everyone comes from a male. Even the daughters are related to the male lineage, okay? So this is what it means, forefathers. Do not be like your forefathers, to whom the former prophets proclaimed, saying, thus says Wyvie, return now, return, it was been, okay, I can't correct it and cut it as well, so I gotta just cut the verses here. Return now from your evil ways. And that's, by the way, what I described about marrying the daughter of the female goddess. That is evilness. That is against our Creator. So all evil is relating to what I just told you about her. So the word evil is that alone, okay, or the highest of the evilness. There can be stupid people that just don't have that practice. I call them fake atheists because they don't know about that other practice, but those are the ones leading the charge. There is no creator, that you become gods and reincarnation as well. Return to me from your evil ways and from your evil deeds. But they did not listen or give heed to me, declares Wyvie. Okay. And it looks like I'm going to be using this word here for a bit here. Your forefathers were our, where, oh God, okay, excuse me, where are they, your forefathers? It almost seems like it says, where are they and the prophets? Do they live forever? But did not my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants and prophets, overtake your forefathers? Then they repented and said, as Wyvie proposed to do to us in accordance with our ways and our deeds, so has he dealt with us. On the 24th day, now see, that's wrong. That's a moon counting type of word. You have to understand the Hebrew calendar. They counted 7 days and then kept repeating 7 days. They did not have numbers like 24, 69, 53, whatever. They wrote it would be, say, like the word 12 would be 10 and 2. If it was 20, it would be 2 tens. So when it goes to, say, 24th day, that's wrong because that's a moon month count. They counted 7 days, and 5 of these made their month, okay? And that's why you don't have an 11th month. I don't think when you count it right, they don't have 11th month. I've got to do a study offline or off. I got to go check my notes on that. But maybe that's why there is no 12th month ever when you read the text. But it wouldn't be the 24th day. It would be like 3 weeks, 2 days. Okay, 21. Yeah, it would be 3 weeks and 3 days is the way they would have wrote it. So I've got to go through here and I've got to correct that on the 11th month, because just like this would be 10 and 1 month is the way they would have wrote it. Let me see if that's still showing up this late in the text here. Let me do 11 first. Okay, see, they've got 11. Okay, but what's this word right next to it? See, that's what I'm saying, that they would use one word to mean one thing and then it would be adding, and they're adding the number behind it. So it should be like 10 and 1, okay? And that would be the 11th count. All right, let's try 24. See, they got another word here. See, they're representing it as the 4, where the first one would probably be, again, 10 and 4. No, this would be represented 20. And this would be 4. I just know I've done this so many times that in the earlier text, like saying 12 commandments, you would find that a lot, that it would be in the 12 tribes, especially under the 12 count, it's 10 and 2. So if I break all these down doing this, I might not do that right now. I might be doing it later. But for right now, I just need to see. And here they're given a month. The month is a name. They never give the name of a month. Okay. See, that's exactly what they're doing, though. They're saying that's the Jewish calendar. That's that month of that day. Shebat. Okay. Well, the only thing is it's funny. It's written in Hebrew like this, and it's still left in English this way. It's translated and still stays as English. Okay. So, curious. But actually, they never had a month. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this for over 30 years. So, I can't explain everything right now over the dates. I know I'm going to have to do that at some time, because I know I've got a breakdown in my notes someplace. I got too many notes, too many pictures as well that I was posting, probably an image. It's probably an image breaking down how that is. because it's easier to explain in an image than it is to write it out, which is the month in the second. This has to be in the second year of this wouldn't be of, it would be for. You again have to add the word king. And to add here, it's not of, for King Darius. Oh, now this is another time that the word is coming to him. The word of Yahweh came to him. Now, how come they're doing that when it's very easy to say it's words from our Creator? So I'm just going to copy this and repeat this right here. Came again from our Creator to Z. And again, it has to be his prophet. And get rid of all this again. As follows, which is kind of odd way to say it. Now, if this is our Creator speaking, it's funny. I saw at night, our Creator, I just finished up Psalms, and there was a Psalm there that the guy said that the brightest of day or darkest of night, it doesn't matter to our Creator. He still sees you. He still knows you're there. But it's funny how they got our Creator saying common words here. Behold a man. Now, see, the word man, the way our Creator defines the word man, is I made man male and female, so it means both of them. Here, this is a secular use of the word man, so let me correct that. And saw a male riding I saw at night a male riding on a, I'm going to have to put reddish because we can't have the horse that color of red, and we know what color we're talking about. I'm going to have to look it up just to see what we name it today. And he was standing among I saw at night a male riding on a reddish horse. Then it has to be, then he stood, then he stood among the myrtle trees, and which they were in a ravine with a red swirl and whitish horses behind him. How much farther do I got to go through all this pain here? Okay. He was riding among, or no, he was standing among, no, then he stood among. Okay. Then I said, now this is, I said, My Lord. Now, this is the Hebrew word for the title Lord. Just in case you didn't know, there was other titles that they actually have for Lord. Let me show you that breakdown. Um, Uh-oh. I know I have it someplace. I must have pressed the button and deleted it because I have a lot more than this. Nope, it's there. Okay, now one Lord is like this, and yet they used another Lord like this. Now, this Lord they used as a capital L 456 times. And then down here, they used Lord, Lord, the same way up here, only 4 times. And down here, it's meaning master. Okay. So when they do a capital like this, they're talking about our Creator as Lord. So these are the two titles, or the two Hebrew words for the same title used different ways. And they'll tell you that there's jots and tittles or little marks all over the lettering to mean one to change it different. I got two words. One, it means master. One means our Creator as our Lord, as a title for Him. Okay, and yet they still made it small Lord and needed lords when they changed the text to mean what they wanted to. This program is so dangerous. That's why it is not in the public no more. They literally, when I started doing this back in 1995, started going on YouTube and showing people this. I have not been able to find that program or that concordance anywhere, like what you're seeing there, what you're seeing. How many times they have it there for their book, but they don't do the breakdown of the numbers no more. In fact, I called the company for the program that you just seen, and they didn't know it existed. It seems like it's changed hands too many times, and now this is not there. This program I first bought in discs in '88, and then they wore out because computers did kind of break down a lot and having to redo them. And you know, if you ever know anybody, well, why they got rid of the 3.5 disc floppies is because it would get a mark or something on them, and then you couldn't open the disc or use the disc at all. But it was like $900 for that program on those, and then it was like $700 when it came on a CD disc. I lent it out and never got it back. But I have it. It's like I think it's actually an 8-bit program, and it only runs on VirtualBox. To have it on a Windows 10, to be able to show it to you, to work with OBS. Other than that, if you have Windows XP, you can work with the program a lot better and actually copy the text over. And I do have an old XP computer sitting there, just keeps sitting there. But every once in a while, every 6 months or something, I need to fire it up and use it. But the object is the program no longer exists. So then I said, my Lord, my Lord, what are these? And the angel who was speaking with me. Now, wait a second. When did this angels pop up? Because I like giving angels a different color in the text, and I've assigned green to whatever they say. Red is usually used for Jesus, all capitals, letters in purple for our Creator. So just to let you know how I do things here. What did I do? Get another message here? Well, I tell you, streaming is not what it's cracked up to be. It just isn't as smooth as what it's going to be in a few years. Say to me, because the angel now appears, but he doesn't appear because here they're saying these are words from our Creator. And actually, this is a vision that I'm seeing here. I saw this is going to be a vision, not words. They've screwed this thing up because he's going to be talking to an angel, which usually doesn't happen. Look, when you study it like I have, which I can say I've averaged, at least 3 hour days every day, 7 days a week for 28 years, 20, maybe 30 now. Anyways, that's the average time. I know I took a couple years off, but there were days that I spent 15 hours a day for 5 months every day. And I was averaging probably 7 to 10 hours a day for many years, many years. So anyways, I'm trying to figure out why this is all of a sudden this angel's here. The angel who was speaking with me said to me, and I don't need this word. Then it said, I will show you. This will be this type of you, not that type of you. What these are. And the man who was standing answered, said, these are those whom Yahweh has sent to patrol the earth. So they answered the angel of Yahweh who was standing among the world. I'm sorry. When they redouble this text and they say it one way and then they change it to another, that's very suspicious. It sounds like everyone knew this prophecy, and then when they went to distort the text, they had to keep some of the old, and then our Creator changed his mind, and this has to be done. Said, we have patrolled the earth and behold, all on earth is peaceful and quiet. And there's never been a day like that. You know that's a lie. Then the angel of Yahweh answered and said, YV, how long will you have no compassion for Jerusalem and okay, this has to be there. This has to be up here. So maybe cut it there. The cities of Judah with which you have been indignant these 70 years. Now there's a problem with the word 70 years. I'm gonna put 70. And that is, I've already done all this. And our creator has a hidden format within the text that I haven't even got to start on. But I'm trying to show in you all the hidden formats of the first writer's text, how much they distorted it or needed to add the text to it to make it theirs. So what I'm going to do is tell you right now, actually, from the time they went into Babylon to the time they returned was only about 40 years. It took 70 years to build the walls up in Jerusalem again and reestablish and build the houses and put Jerusalem back together like it was. So then it was like that until the Roman days. That it might have been disturbed. There's 200 years of the text that we don't have. Okay. And YV answered the angel. And YV answered. YV does not answer. He talks, commands, prophesies, but he never answers. He more or less told the angel speaking with me. Oh, now there were gracious words and comforting words from our Creator. So the angel speaking with me said, proclaim, saying, thus says YV, I am exceedingly jealous for Jerusalem and Zion. Now, why would he be that? I don't believe they got our Creator being zealous. I don't believe it. But I am very angry with the tribes who are at ease. Might need cutting. Well, I was only a little angry. They furthered the disaster. Our Creator brought Babylon down. They burnt his house. They stole his, or took all the silver and gold out of it, took it up and put it in their temple for their God. They took the people away naked and they marched them. So they didn't carry a lot of things with them when they left. I believe that's what they did because I know that was in Egypt. That was in Egypt. I'm sorry. That was not in Egypt when they gathered and become slaves. They brought them naked to shame them and put them full under control as slaves. But they led those people away and they didn't get to pack much. I mean, it was just kind of like, and how did they further the disaster? That's just not true. Okay. Therefore, thus says YV, I will return to Jerusalem
with compassion. Whoops. With compassion. My house will be rebuilt in it, declares Wivey. Because you got to understand the house. I know it wasn't made of stones, even though you look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and I think there's stories in there how the disciples turned and asked Jesus, "Aren't the stones beautiful of the house?" Well, that's time out. David had 80,000 hewers. So let's reasonably say there's 8,000 hewers. But hewers aren't hewing rocks. They're shaping granite into blocks. That's what a hewer does. A hewer's making a block. And I say granite because Solomon said, we made him a forever house. And so when you think and know that, then you have to say, well, what color granite did they use then for this forever house? You have to go back to when Moses was told to build his tent for meeting with him, not a temple, not a sanctuary, not a tabernacle, none of that. Our Creator defined it as a tent for meeting with him. So if you're using any other words than that, you are not obeying our Creator. You're using pagan words. You don't understand what the word temple means. A temple is you put a false god in and you go and worship a false god. Our Creator, there was never, they were meeting our Creator. The thing here is when he told them to build the tent, it was from goat hides, ram hides, and them were white. When we look at the granite quarry fields in Israel today, there is a white granite quarry by Hebron, where David was king for many years. I can't remember how many. But that is where it's true that it is a white granite house. Now, we have to use the story from Rehoboam, which is Solomon's son when he became king. He went to Shechem, and they had an argument about their work was a heavier load than everybody else. And when you look at Shechem, there's a limestone quarry there. So the courtyard that they made and the fence that goes around it was made out of limestones. Okay? So that's why they were arguing about their work being heavy loads. So you have to understand everything was white. Okay? And I know you weren't taught that ever. So, but I went through everything for you to understand how you had to go here, there, and there to get the answer. Okay. Wivey declares Wivey a measuring line, and a measuring line. Well, that means that that's different. And a measuring line will be stretched over Jerusalem. Again proclaim, saying, thus says Wivey. Boy, he can't put all this in one group as saying just how many times did he talk to him? I again proclaim, saying, thus says Wivey, my cities will again overflow with prosperity, and Wivey will again comfort Zion, and again choose Jerusalem. Well, I thought he just got done saying he's going to stretch it over. That's what the whole thing is. The house is going to be rebuilt. It says right here, I will return to Jerusalem. And then down here, it says, I will again trust Jerusalem. No, wait a second. Where is the 70 years? Oh, they're trying to say that the return from Babylon was 70 years. Okay. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, 4 horns. So I said to the angel, now horns, these, the priests were to announce the year of redemption, to free those that were sent into work prison. Say that they had one borrowed money from another one, and all of a sudden his crop still failed. He didn't get enough. Well, the thing here is he didn't have any money. So what the guy that loaned him money would complain to the elders, and then they'd take that person, stick him over here in what's known as a work prison. Now, somebody can hire him and then pay off his debt. But every 7 years, they were to blow these horns throughout all the tribes, and then they were to release them, and all debt is forgiven. Okay? So the thing here is that's what they use these horns for. So they're just a ram's horn. They're not great big things that they show you on YouTube or whatever. They're just like a goat's horn that they've hollowed out. Okay, or 4 horns. So I said to the angel who was speaking with me, what are these? And he answered, these are the horns which have scattered Judah and Israel and Jerusalem. How did they scatter them when they come down? Babylon, Assyria come down and took Israel. Later, let me give you a timeline so you understand what I'm talking about. Here is the timeline, and now Israel was kind of always corrupt. So the kings that don't have a capital letter, those are the bad kings. And then there was a few good kings. But the object is see, they were all gone. These were gone to Assyria. Then Babylon come down here, which is like looks like it's 102 years later. Okay, so it wasn't like these are the horns that scattered Judah. No, they took them into captivity. So this person doesn't understand. The vision is all wrong. Okay, our Creator knows what He done. But then he showed me 4 craftsmen. Again, I said, what are these coming to do? What are these coming to do? He said, these are the horns which scattered Jerusalem. They were craftsmen. Now they're horns. so that no man lifts up his head. But these, see, they had to add craftsman here. These words in fuchsia color, that is words that the New American Standard added in 1977. So that's what you're seeing here. But these, to throw down the horns, to throw down the horns of the nation who have lifted up their horns against the land of Judah in order to scatter it. Okay, now these writers that are writing this text, you can now know that they don't believe our Creator prophesied and told them that if that the prophets were telling them that Babylon's coming, they were telling them Assyria's coming. They didn't listen. These guys still don't know that it was our way of, or it was our Creator way of the promise that he talked to their forefathers in Sinai. And that is when he made an agreement with them. These commandments are so important because there are statutes that are above these, okay? But it's these here that can be forgiven for if you do this and then come back to him. And then you, and what he did when he spake from his cloud, this was in the Sinai, and he announced these. And the people agreed that we and our descendants will follow these to be your nation. We will do these, and you will always bless us. We won't have worry about food. We'll always have something to eat. Or we won't have disasters, wars come, we're killing people, stuff like this. So this was the promise. Now, these, you also, our Creator said that if you did not obey these 12, that you are to bring a sin offering. These are sins, only these 12. That's it. There's no more. Just these 12. There's no original sin, no such thing. Not until you have what our Creator defines as a sin offering. Otherwise than that, you can be forgiven now. Okay? But these were, you had to remain here. But if you did not obey these, our Creator said, if you don't or your descendants don't, I'm going to kick them out of the land that you're living on. And it's no longer an inheritance for them. This, what I've been going through, this guy doesn't, this so-called wivey Creator doesn't understand the story. Okay? So now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to try to find the truthful words that I know that are here or words that need to be added to make it here. Yeah, I guess I could change this back over to like I did on the other one. This would have been here, and I would have said 4, and then put 4 there and say 4 King Denarius. Okay. No picture loaded. What happened? Okay. In the 8th month of the 2nd year, yes, this is again a 3-verse like this. Words from Wyvie, that's good. Came to Z, that's even better. I can pronounce it now. His prophets saying, Wyvie was angry with their forefathers. No. That verse is sticking out and it's not saying anything. It would have to be /I. Okay. Not Wyvie. It would be I. I'm adding this. I was, we don't need this, angry with your forefathers. Okay. And not your, but their forefathers. Because you got to include all the tribes that were left in Judah or in Israel. I was angry. Okay. So it says therefore. I'm going to go back here because a lot of times the word therefore is not really in the text. You wouldn't believe how many times they did add that word. It's not there. Therefore, see, just like that. I didn't think it was there. Okay. No, he's already said to him. So I can get rid of that. His prophet saying, thus says. I don't think I need the word thus, even though it's there. It would have to be this. If I save it, it needs to be this. And that's because our creator said it. This was, I'm adding, said. This was said. Words from Wyvie came to Z, his prophet, saying, this was said. Nope, I can't use any of that. I can't use that. What I'm going to do is take this, downsize it and put it in yellow, then put over here and put it in yellow. And that's my way of saying I'm taking that word and sticking it over here without putting all my notes in and saying switch words around. Wyvie said, return to me. Boy. That's not good. Okay. But that's the end. Okay. Return to me. That'd be our creator. Declares Wyvie that I return to you, says Wyvie. If I get all rid of this, it's like the captives or those that had fled to Egypt, and this is coming from our king. So this has to be speaking to those in Egypt or in Babylon. So they're up there. So these would be captives. Wyvie said of our captives, said of our captives, Wyvie said our captives will return. Captives will return and don't need this. And get that. Wyvie said this is going to be the period here. This has got to be a comma here. Okay. This is out. All right. Gotta start. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Our captives will return. I want to say, but don't be like your forefathers. I got to put it in there. I got to say, but do not be like your forefathers. Now, this is like he's talking about what he said, and then this is like he's telling them, look, I've done this a few times over the years, and sometimes the prophets are going to talk to the people and he's going to give them warnings. So our captives will return. And I'm thinking that this is missing. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking is missing is our captives will return and rebuild my house. Oops, I gotta start with something that isn't, well, no, it's gonna be and rebuild my house, period. And that, I believe, what would complete that truthfully. Because it's not to be, this is now going to be what he says to the people. Or this sentence is anyway. Do not be like your forefathers. But if I put and do not be like your forefathers, whom the former prophets, whom the do not be like your forefathers. Um, this is no the saying is not going to go there. To find a 3 verse, I'm going to have to put. I'm thinking I got to change that word, and then there's a word that needs to be put right here, and then it's going to be a period. But these are former prophets. Not be like your forefathers. For my, because this got to be our Creator still speaking, and this has got to be this. These are all His words. Okay. Do not be like your forefathers, for my former prophets proclaimed my warnings to them. Okay. Now those two connect together. So that's a good thing. That was real good to see that they did, even though I had to put this verse in to make sense of it. Now this became more truthful, and I had to add these here. So Z, you got a good start here. But this here is also going to be connected because it's going to be telling us the time that it was said. So these two are going to be connected, and then these two. Okay. Now, what is the rest of the story? Because, but I will find them. Saying, thus says Wyvie, proclaim my warnings to them. It wouldn't be saying, it would be declaring. Declaring? declaring return to me. Now this has got to be a period. This is our creator, but I've added creator saying this, added it. Return to me. Now the word now, I don't like that, but maybe there's another word here that I can use, because I really do try to say if they got a better word here. And he's not going to plead with him and say, please stop your evil words. There's no O in the Hebrew language, so I don't know why they're putting it in. Oh, may, oh, explore, beg, beseech. And they had to use it how many times for now? 159 times. Okay, so that would be a good word for now then, nay. Okay, whoops, I better bring you back over here. I forget that from time to time. Okay. Now from your evil ways. That was a stop. Stop your evil. And if it weighs, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is, whoops. Evil course. Practice. I like the word practice. It's been used once, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. Your evil practice. And I told you, they're meditating to have sex with a so-called female goddess. So just to put up another picture so you can say, well, what's this guy trying to tell us here? Well, I'm going to tell you that what you're seeing here, and you've probably seen this Kundalini stuff going on, this is what goes on inside their body when you do meditate to have sex with a female goddess. Okay? But the object is that you've seen these images before, and they're all over. All you have to do is search for Kundalini. Okay? They're meditating, but they're actually having sex with the female goddess once you understand what days to meditate on. Okay, so stop your practice. Whoops, this should be upright here. They shouldn't have. Oh, it was supposed to be green. That's what's going on. And I guess I needed the word and above here. And stop your evil practice, comma, that period. And your evil deeds. Deeds. Better word than deeds. Here's practices. Let me go back and look at ways here, because it was only used as practice once. Stop your evil journey, your evil I don't I guess I'll go back to the word way here. I will do that. I will say evil ways, and then take this, copy it, get rid of it, and put it here. Oops. And that's another 3 verse. Declaring, return to me and stop your evil ways and your evil practice. Evilness ways, evilness, evilness, evilness. Guess what that means. Guess what that means. That's huge, because now I understand what this is. Wise ways, and this is them setting up their statutes of their gods and goddesses on his promised land to them. Okay, and that's what this evilness way is. Your evilness ways. Your evil ways. I guess I could, but I guess I don't need the word ness. But that's what this is meaning. Evil ways, meaning setting up false gods. Yeah, this would be okay. Need to save that. Okay. Now, we know they didn't listen to him. So these two went together. These two went together. I'm looking, this has to be, let me just copy this. This, I need a double space. 2 of them. And then again, there's going to be 1 space here. But they did not listen or give heed to me. They did not listen. Okay. If I don't do anything to that verse, get rid of these, go down here, get rid of these, and say, where are they now? Where are they now? I guess I'm going to use this. I'm going to add the word now here. whether these are all our Creator saying these. And this, but they did not listen. I'm going to have to change this word to nor, not or, but nor. Give heed to me, nor don't need that word. They did not listen to me, nor heed. I think it would be returned to me, not heed. They see, listen is already there. So what is listen in the? They did not. They did not obey. That's one thing. I'm going to use the first one as obey, and the next one as listen. They did not obey. Nor listen to me. Where are they now? But this would be talking about not, this word can't be here. Neither can that. It's, but they did not obey nor listen to me. Because it's now, it should say, that's why you're in captivity. That's why you're not in Jerusalem. Because look, you got the warning, you got the declaring, you got the not stopping. They did not listen. And after all that time, then it was time to, you're gone. I'm trying to figure out how I can use the word where here. But I think as many words as they've got here for each of these words. And I was hoping they had a ton of them here, but they don't have a ton. So it's all for the where. Okay, I can't use that where. It has to be, the next verse has to say, or listen to P. And I'm trying to put in our words for our Creator. Sometimes I got to watch how I say these. That's because I'm going to have to answer for these. But they did not obey nor listen to me. And I cast them from their land. Period. Okay. Now that's, and I can't use that. Prophets, don't worry about that. They do live forever. That's the problem with that one. They do not live forever, but your soul lives forever. So that wouldn't have been, our Creator knows that. So he wouldn't be saying something stupid like that. Did not my words, my statutes, which I commanded my servants and prophets, overtake your forefathers? No, that isn't. I just got done explaining to you to show you that it was the 12 commandments that were the agreement that he told them that if you don't obey, he's casting you out. The statutes, no, that's circumcision. If they didn't circumcision, they were never to know that they're receiving Abraham's promise of his blessings. So that's one of the statutes. The next statute for all the people would be to celebrate his passing over them. Can't think of another statute for the people. So commandments. This is just wrong. That's just wrong. Okay. I was thinking, you see me thinking, I was looking for anything I can start with to start from here. I cast them from their land because that's what the text is telling me is supposed to be said. And I've got to find did I find a second one for that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Now, usually there would be more of him now going to a group of people when a prophet is told like this. They usually went to the king. They usually went to the priests. They would, or to the people coming in and out the gate for the city, or would go from city to city and be proclaiming this. Then they repented and said, as why he proposed to us to do, in accordance with our ways and our deeds, so he has dealt with us. Nope, that's not any good either. Then they repented. Our Creator said that they didn't repent. The ones that were still good, that were obedient to him, he saved them and he sent them away as captives. But you got to understand, they weren't treated as slaves. They became part of the society. They had to work to sustain their own way of life, but they would still have their own community areas. It's not like slavery, like to own. Maybe some of them did end up that way, but the majority of our Creator told them to keep their way going when they left so they could return. So the thing here is they knew if they went into captivity, they weren't going to get mistreated. Our Creator wouldn't do that to them. So don't think it's like slavery. Look at Daniel. He was brought in to see if they could use his knowledge, or if he was one that they could teach the Babylon way and become part of their society that way, like a teacher or a governor or he ended up being an advisor to the king. So on the 24th day of the 11th month, in the second year, let me go back up here to see what was happening in the 8th month. In the 11th month and get rid of this. That was easy enough. And it could be said in our 11th, and they would understand it not as a month. In our 11th, in the second year for King Denarius. And that way I could write out that correctly. In our in our 10 and 1, well, I'm just going to put it this way. It's all green. And that's the way they would have wrote it. In our 10 and 1 in the second year, but here they have to use a month. But they would also know it by this. Anyways, I'll go with that. Words from Ivy again. As follows. Okay, I'm trying to think of how to start this off. Because it has to be like this. My vision at night, because these are from our Creator. My vision at night. In my vision at night, a male was riding on a reddish horse. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good, though. That's pretty good. The male was sitting on a reddish horse with a red and white one behind him. was sitting on a reddish horse. Whoops, I need these. And he was among the trees. With a red squirrel and a white horse. Well, we're going to get the vision here. With a red. Now, see if that's the reddish. And if this is black, or this is white, then this would have been black because he's on a red horse. So this one has to be black. And the reddish horse is going to be I'm going to make it gray. It's like the in-between color. So I'm thinking that is more the true answer or true vision. Although I want to make this my word here. On a gray horse. Might as well do it here as well. No, I want to let him know that I started with something. And I'm going to leave it, I'm going to say like that. A gray horse. And he was among the myrtle, he was among the trees with okay, what is they say this word is? And this is 8. I'm thinking that means that it's different colored horse. Okay. Let me see here. Then if I put red here, that's pretty good because I'm thinking that's what they use for red. Yeah, see, that's the same color to me, anyways. And then I'm going to have to use that S. He was standing among the trees. Black, reddish. with black, reddish, and white horses. Okay. This is our creator, not an angel. Because where does the angel show up? Because it's a vision. And I don't see an angel popping in here yet. That I don't see here. But this has to be... No, this is a new one. So this, and this is the dividing. This is just one. Now this has got to be two. This starts a new subject. Then an angel spake to me, is what it's going to be. Then his angel whoops. Then his angel green spake. Then his angel spake. The man who hmm, then his angel spake, period. I have to use the word saying here. Then his angel said, not spake, said, now I can get rid of it here, not show you. The male sitting male sitting, comma, among the horses, I'm going to have to say was sent. This is going to be by our creator. Was sent to patrol the earth. This has already been said. And this would be a, although I could go like this and say the angel is talking that YV sent him YV sent him to patrol the earth. I'm just looking to see if the story is down here. We're left hanging. We are left hanging. YV sent him to patrol the earth because I've got. Oh, I should have one here. So this is hooking to this. But it's got to be, he said we have patrolled the earth. Okay. He was sent already to patrol. All the earth, that doesn't say anything. Patrol the earth. And I got to put a blank here. I do. I have no idea how to even guess at this. Because you can't just have him say that it's peaceful and quiet, because there's never a day on this earth that's peaceful and quiet for everybody. There's always evil going on. But maybe the story will appear in the next few chapters. Other than that, I'd have to throw that text out because I don't have enough. Was sent, maybe sent him to patrol the captives. Sent him to watch over the captives. Patrol, watch. Let's see. Sent to come, continue, came, departed. Oh, I have no idea what's going on here. It's messing with my tiny little mind here because it has to be something to do with the one above. And that was the return to build my house. But if that's the end of that one, then this one's a new one. Not the earth. That's my problem. It's not earth. It's a land. Land. Yes. Okay. That's better. Because now control your land. And now I will use it. And it is peaceful and quiet. And this, I'm going to say these are angels' words to him, not that they're coming from our Creator. This was an act by him. This is what the angel's telling him. It's peaceful and quiet. Now that talks about the return, okay? Then the angel of Wyvie answered and said, Wyvie, how long will you have? It's peaceful and quiet on the land, and he's told them they're going to return. That means really the refuge, the ones that were left there, the remnant, they call them. They're having a peace and quiet, which actually is the promise that after Babylon had taken away the captives, and they found out that Jeremiah the prophet was still there, they gathered to him, and then a group of them said, look, we still think there's the Arab raiders are going to come over and kill us, and we want to go to Egypt. So would you talk to our Creator and ask him whether we're supposed to stay here or go to Egypt? And our Creator told him, stay there and I'll take care of you. There it is. Peace. It's the remnant are peaceful and quiet. We've got true text, but now, what was this trying to say? Because the angel answered and said, Wyvie, how long will you have no compassion for Jerusalem? Well, this is not really true at all because he's already said he's going to send them back. So it's not how long at all. These 70 years, that's just wrong. Let me see here. It is peaceful and quiet. Now, website is what I need. I mean, something like this. Now, Livy will have okay, now I don't need this. Livy will have compassion for them in has to be compassion to people. You can't have compassion for cities, plain and simple. Livy will have compassion statement for them in Jerusalem and your cities, talking to him, directing it to him. It's no longer Judah. They can't call it Judah because they have no more nation. But it's this because actually the king is going to send whoever. I'm trying to remember what the text said and how I got to say that that's wrong. Because when it took me years to figure out who's what, when, where, and whatever. But it was Daniel that was sent back with the items to reestablish his house. Because, look, when I showed you this at the very beginning, and it says right here, the first Roman emperor corrected the calendar and order of the year to the course of the sun god, Ra. But the object is what was the calendar before that? The calendar was before when Nebuchadnezzar woke up from eating grass. He says, he's the creator of everything. He's the one. He is truly the creator. And the Hebrew people, or the Israelis that we have among us, leave them alone. They're fine and dandy with being under the creator. I understand what they're doing now. But he died shortly after he did that. And his son, remember, he had the writing on the wall that he was going to die that day because he was using this items from his house to atone for forgiveness. So now the one that was he was taking care of Nebuchadnezzar while he was eating grass, because Nebuchadnezzar, when he regained, he was back in control. But then the one who had to be watching over his brother has to be the next guy in power. So it's like Babylon and then Babylon. And then I'm thinking they transferred it to Assyria, because I think they shared power. They didn't want to fight each other. I mean, I know it's far-fetched. It's changing all history, but that's what the text tells me from our Creator's hidden formats. But it was this calendar that has been redone that was established, and you have to understand that only the one who witnessed Nebuchadnezzar waking up, and then when he's seen this next king got mad and threw him into a fire, when they came out, the guy said, hey, look, I'm convinced too, and you guys are heading back to do rebuild his house. So this part here, when it says 70 years, I'm going to use them because it's reestablishing the city of Jerusalem. Like I said, when Daniel went back with that, they didn't have a lot of people. I mean, sure, there were many captives returning, but they didn't all assemble at Jerusalem and start building. They would have got back on the land, and there would have been a group of them to come back down to help work on the house, get that established. But as soon as that was done, they had their own to take care of. Okay, so they've got a family they got to feed and everything. So, but I'm thinking this is the 70 years of completion. So it has to be for them in Jerusalem and your cities. Will be 70 years. And this is, I was just trying to figure out how I do the 710s. Where Jerusalem will be for them in Jerusalem, it will be, and I don't need these here. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen later when I go and start compiling them together, that I'm going to have to break down the 710s. 710s. I'm going to do it right now. 710s. And then that way, what you're seeing here is that I'm using like 1-2 major words and then using the least amount of words I can to make them correct. And you can see here, and I've got here. But when I got 3 here, that 7 has to go up on the top. For Jerusalem, will have compassion for them in Jerusalem. And your cities will be, I think that's what's going to happen. I got to get rid of that and figure out what I'm putting together here. But it is peaceful and quiet. And now you have compassion and send back the people, and it's going to take this many years. Same prophecy Daniel had, okay? And this is another prophet, Z. I can pronounce his name now. Would have been able to confirm it, but they seem to be farther away than Daniel, because Daniel he's wondering about it, and he has a vision, and the angel tells him as well. Is this all Daniel, maybe? Really? I can't remember if it was Cyrus or Darius that sent Daniel. This might be Daniel. Anyways, they screwed the text up so much. But at least the format is coming through strong. It's coming through strong. There's a story here. I didn't have to throw out all of it. So now I'm saying that that was a division, this one and this one. And this one has to have 2. That those are combined together. So now but this is being said by the angel. This would not be needed. Okay, now I'm looking for words how to end this, and then have him leave, because now he's got the answer. Now he's got to go tell. So it's here. I got proclaim, saying this was said by Wyvie, but it was a vision with an angel in it. So this, I was trying to make the angel, when finished with these gracious words, were comforting to me, because they weren't really words. So this was a prophecy. So I'm going to pass on those right now. So, and not proclaim. This has to be prophesy. Prophesy. And I'm going to say, then his, then his angel told me this. Then his angel said, to me. Prophesy this. This. This has to be separate from that. And how do I use his name here? Then his angel said to me, I have to use the word go here. Go will prophesy this is from Livy. Okay. That's how easy it is. Oh man. Okay. Now that's pretty good. Now let me see where else I can go here. Because it's only yeah. Okay. Mm. I have the rebuilt already up. I got that way up here. So this, like I said, this is just stupid. They didn't further it. So this can just be out. This has all been said. This is not that's kind of like he already sent the guy on the horse to do. So whatever they're saying here is really what's already been said, that it was peaceful. So that's out. This is out because he would have told him in one story. And these horns did not shatter him. Okay, they did not scatter Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. So this has to be out. And this is a continuing of that. That doesn't need that. And that again is against order to scatter it. Now that is out. So the first text we got in chapter 1 is going to be revealed here. And out of all that crap, and just like that, the revealing of words, they're probably, I don't know, how is this, I gotta say this to be, because there's 200 years before Jesus, this happened. So, yeah, this is going to be 2,400 years minimum. And this is probably the first time that I can think of that an angel is in between, guiding him through his vision. So, now this is what I've got. Z chapter 1. In the 8th month of the 2nd year for King Darius, word from Yvie came to Z, his prophet, saying, Yvie said, Our captives will return and rebuild my house. And do not be like your forefathers, for my former prophets proclaimed my warning to them, declaring, Return to me and stop your evil ways and your evil practice. But they did not obey nor listen to me, and I cast them out from their land. Then I got to add the word then. Then in our 10 and 1, in the 2nd year for King Daenerys, words from Yvie came to Z, his prophet, as follows. In my vision at night, a male was sitting on a gray horse, and he was among the trees with black, reddish, and white horses. Then his angel said, The male sitting among the horses. Yvie sent him to patrol your land, and it is peaceful and quiet. Yvie will have compassion for them in Jerusalem, and your cities will be 70 years. Then the angel said to me, Go prophesy, this is from Yvie. Now that's pretty good editing because I only had to add one word. Usually I don't do that good. That was something to get at least something from chapter 1. And don't get mad at me for changing the names. I'm trying to make it simple enough for even a 12-year-old to read. And they don't need to be confused by names or words having 6 different meanings. I'm trying to get rid of all that. You've seen me struggle that with the word ways. But that is, we do have words from Zechariah. So, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's erased all my 8-point that I had down below the text. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Anyways, that's going to be it for the night. Tomorrow, I will get onto chapter 2 here. It'll be Z2. And I'll go from there, and I will see you in the next one.